Take a moment to pause in this lying down position. Allow our arms to relax away from our body just a little bit, not a lot. Allow our palms to face up. Our shoulders to rest heavy as we let go of all effort in our shoulders. And bend our knees and let our feet rest on the floor. Allow our spine to soften in this position. As we pause in this position, breathing, take a moment to check in with our low back and its shape. And with bent knees, let's lift both heels up off the floor and feel our core brace. And lower our heels back down. Lift our heels back up and flex our feet. Lowering our toes down, then lower our heels. Keep most of the engagement that we found in our core, and then lift our feet back up. Lower them back down, keeping the stability within our core. Lift our feet back up. And lower back down. And keeping our eyes closed, lift our feet back up. This time we're going to draw our knees towards our chest, but try to keep the shape of our low back. So don't go so far that we round our low back. Then lower our toes down towards the floor. Don't let our heels touch, just our toes. And then draw our knees back in, keep the shape of our low back. Lower our toes down, tap the floor. Lift our toes up, drawing our knees towards our chest. And lower our toes down. We're just moving in our range of motion of stability within our low back. Keeping our eyes closed so that we can feel the stability and the movement within our core. And then draw our knees into our chest, give them a hug. Interlace our hands behind our head. Let our elbows relax out. Let our knees stay in towards our chest. Notice that our low back is slightly rounded. We're going to take our feet, draw them forward, come to a neutral position within our low back. Keep that neutral, then extend our legs forward further. Bend our knees, draw our knees in. We're going to round our back, lift our tailbone up. Lower our tailbone down, extend our legs, and bend our knees. Tuck our tailbone, lift our tailbone away from the floor, and lower our hips, extend our legs, and bend our knees, lift our tailbone, rounding our low back, and lower down and extend our legs, and draw our knees in, round our back as we lift our hips, lower our hips, extend our legs. One more time. Bend our knees, lift our hips, lower our hips down, release our feet, let our hips and our core soften. Release our hands from behind our head, extend our hands up to the ceiling. Make sure our shoulder blades are firm on our back. Then draw our arms back behind us, thumbs pointing down, and then lift them back up and draw our arms to our side. And again, lift our arms up, draw them back behind us. Keep our shoulders down away from our ears. And then draw our hands back up and bring our arms to our side. We're going to add on lifting our hips as we lift our arms. Draw our thumbs back behind us. Then lower our arms down, lower our hips. Rise back up. And reach back. And lower down. And back up. Keeping our shoulder blades firm on our back. Let's flow one more time. And then we're going to lift our hips, lift our arms, take them back behind us, hold. Thumbs stay pointing down. Then lift our heels up off the floor. Lower our heels, lower our hips and our arms back to our side. Lift up, come to the top of our shoulders, lift our heels. Lower our heels, lower our arms and our hips. And repeating. And lower. And lift. And lower. Now hold here. Walk our feet in until our big toes touch. Take our arms out like wings, palms face up. Lift our right foot, place it on top of our left knee. Lift our hips up off the mat. Lower down and lift. Lower and lift. Lower, then take our right foot up to the ceiling if we want to make it a little more challenging. Lift our hips. Lower and lift. And lower. And one more time. And lower. Release our right foot down. Take our left foot. Place it on top of our right knee. Lift our hips up. And lower down. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Option to lift our left leg to make it a little more challenging. And lift. Lower. And lift. Lower. And one more time. And lower. Release our left foot. Draw our knees into our chest. Give them a hug. Rock forward and back. We're going to flip over into an all fours position. From all fours, we're stacking joints. So hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. Make sure the elbows are soft. Inside creases of our elbows point towards each other. Turn our gaze slightly forward. Hug our belly in. Then squeeze our shoulder blades together, keeping our arms straight. And pull our shoulder blades apart. Squeeze them together. And pull them apart. Squeeze. And pull them apart. Notice that our spine stays neutral. It's just our shoulder blades that are moving. Find one more time. Then we're going to curl our toes under. Lift our knees, let them hover. Lift our hips up and back for a short dog. Lifting our tailbone up. Shoulder blades down our back. Come forward, let our knees hover above the floor. And come up, lifting our tailbone up, shoulder blades down our back. And forward, let our knees hover. And lift up. Shoulder blades down our back, creating space between our ears and our shoulders. And one more time, knees hover. And rise back up. And lower our knees all the way down to the mat. We're going to take our left forearm, place it on the mat underneath us. So our left fingertips point to the right side of our mat. Walk our knees back. And then we're going to roll to our left side. So right knee lifts up off the mat. We're going to take our right hand, place it on our right hip. Chest is open. We're stabilizing our left shoulder blade as well as our core. Breathing. Lower our left hip down and then lift it back up. Lower it down and lift back up. Lower down and lift back up.
lower down. Take our right hand in front of us, roll to our belly, and we're going to switch sides. So right forearm in front of us, elbow directly underneath our shoulder. Left hand comes to our side. Lift our hips, roll to our right side. And then left hand comes to our hip. Holding, building stability within our right shoulder blade. Make sure our left shoulder is stacked over our right and our right shoulder is over our elbow. Lower our hip down, pause, lift back up. Lower down, lift back up. And lower down. Take our left hand in front of us, come back to our belly. Take both hands to our side. Press up, kneeling plank. Then lift our knees, extend our heels back. We're gonna put both heels over to the left, take our right foot, stack it on top of our left. Take our right hand to our hip or up to the ceiling. This is challenging. Take your right foot in front or behind. Elbows soft, chest open. Lower our hips down, tap the mat, lift back up. Lower down, tap, lift back up. Lower down, tap, lift back up. Lower and lift. Lower, take our right hand down to the floor. We're going to take it over to the other side. So start from a plank. Turn our heels to the right. You can keep your feet just like that, or you can stack your feet. Left hand can come up or to your hip. Chest open. Lower your hip down. Tap the mat. Come back up. Lower down. Tap. Come back up. Lower. Tap. Come back up. One more time. And rise up. Left hand to the floor. Knees down. Take your knees wide. Bring your big toes together to touch. Sink your hips back. Lower your chest down. Turn your gaze forward. And hold. Chin can rest on the floor or it can hover. Finding extension through our spine. Shoulders relaxed. Rise up, come onto our bellies. Slide our hands underneath our forehead. Take our arms out, elbows bent, forehead down to the floor. Slide our right knee out to the side as we lower our left hip down and lift our right hip up. Slide our right hand to the side of our chest. Roll to our left cheek. Adjust your left elbow, arm to accommodate your shoulder. We're looking for a stretch across the front of our left shoulder. Now, this is going to feel a little bit different than extended arm. And if you need to extend your left arm a little bit, feel free to do so. Hold here or slide your right knee in towards your hips. If you're already feeling that stretch across the front of your shoulders, stay here. If you don't, walk that elbow away from your body Lift your right leg, stack it on top of your left. Option to step your right foot back behind you, knee pointing up. Let your knee rock back behind you if you need more. If your right foot is behind you, stack it on top of your left leg. And slowly lower our hips down to the floor. We're going to slide our right elbow out. Elbow is bent. Fingertips point forward. Lift our head. Release our right cheek down to the mat. Bring our left hand to the side of our chest. Roll to your right hip as you slide your left knee up. Walk your right elbow away from you. Option, slide your left knee in towards your hips. Walk your right elbow away from you. Stay here or stack your legs, left leg over right. Option to take left foot back behind us. Knee pointing up. Option to let our left knee rock back behind us. Slowly lower our hips down to the floor. Forehead comes to the mat. Bring our hands to the side of our ribs. Hug our elbows in tight. Press up and back, child's pose. We're going to come up and roll to our left side, so any way that feels comfortable for you. As we come to our left side, find a way to support your head. If you feel comfortable, you can use your hand to support your head. This actually, if you keep your elbow pointing back behind you rather than forward, actually stretches the outside of your shoulder if you use your hand to support your head. Then I want you to bend your knees, stack your ankles, knees, and hips. You're going to take your right hand on top of your hip. Keeping your feet together, I want you to bring your awareness to your hips. We're going to lift our top knee, and as we do so, I want you to make sure you don't move your hips at all. So slowly lifting our right knee up. Don't let our hips roll back, not even a centimeter. And lower our knees down, nice and slow. And lift our knees up. Don't move our hips at all. The tendency is for our hips to move back in order to get our knee up. I want you to really keep those hips stacked. Don't let them move at all. Knee comes up. And bring our knee down. And back up. Lower down. And up one more time. Lower it down. This time we're going to keep our knees together and lift our foot. Hand stays on our hip. Again, we're not moving our hips. The tendency here will be to rock the hips forward. So keep hips right where they are. Lift our right heel up to the ceiling. Lower it down, nice and slow. Lift our heel up and lower it down. If your hand is directly on top of the side of your hip, you're probably feeling this on the back side of your hand, so a little bit further back. One more time, nice and slow. And lower down, nice and slow. This time we're going to lift knee and ankle at the same time. Keep them fairly level. Extend your leg. Press through your heel. Rotate your toes down towards the floor, heel up. Lower your foot down. And again, we're not moving our hips at all. Lift our heel up. The tendency is going to be to push the hip up towards our ribs, so keep it down. Lower our toes down, heel stays up. And press our heel up. You'll feel this one directly underneath your hand if it's at the side of your hip. Lower down. And lift up. Lower down. And lift. And lower. And one more time. And release. Bend our knees and stack them. We're going to roll onto our back and flip sides. Again, if your elbow is pointing towards the back, then you're going to find more of a stretch through the base of your shoulder, so the back side of your armpit. Then knees, ankles, hips stacked, the left hand on top of your hip. Keep your feet together, don't move your hips, lift your left knee up. Lower it down. And lift it up. You should be feeling this on the back side of your hand, so more in the glutes area. And lower down. Don't let those hips move at all. Lift up. And lower down. One more time, lift up. Don't let your hips rock back. And slowly lower down. Keep our knees together, flex our left foot, lift our heel up. You're gonna be feeling this in the back side of the glute, just a little bit lower down. And lower down. And lift up nice and slow. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower and hold. We're going to lift both knee and ankle same time. Extend out, press through your heel. Rotate your toes down, heel up. Lower down, tap the floor. Lift up, don't let your hip come up towards your ribs. Lower down, tap the floor. Lift your heel up. And lower down. And lift. and lower. And one more time, lift and lower. We're going to bend our knee, release it down to the floor or down to your leg. Roll onto your back. We're going to set up for Shavasana. You're going to have an option in this position. You can roll up your mat, or if you have a foam roller you'd like to lay on, you can do that. But if we're healing shoulders, a mat will be more than sufficient. So as we roll up our prop, if we're using our mat, you may not need the whole thing depending on your body. I'm going to demo with half my mat. You're going to turn it around. We're going to place that rolled up mat behind us. Make sure that we're getting from about mid back up to our head on top of the mat. Then we're going to take our hands up to the ceiling. Make sure that our spine is on our prop. Draw our elbows out to the side. Now, normally we would extend our arms, but we're going to do a little bit different today. So palms face forward, thumbs point towards each other. Let our hands come back behind us and hold. Close our eyes. Make sure we're staying comfortable through our lower body as well. And breathe.
Drawing our awareness back to our bodies. Let our breath deepen. Bending our knees. Let's roll to our right side as we come off of our prop and press ourselves up. Finding our way back to a comfortable seat. Let our hands relax in our lap. Let our spine lift. And drawing our hands together in front of our heart. Sealing in all that we found in this practice of stability, letting go of tension, breathing, and bringing awareness to our bodies. Take it all as a gift that we can place in our hearts. Namaste.